We're gonna do a song that you never heard before.
Here they come, I get wicked. Here we go again. Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What up?
What's good, man? Everything good your way?
Yeah, bro. Finally got that email confirmation. The boy back on the State Fair stage coming up in September.
Y'all doing it. That make them early, huh? Early plans, huh?
Oh yeah, you got to make the early plans so you can kind of narrow it down, figure out dates, and so it's if you perform before, then you kind of get an early access. So it was just dope to get the notification. So
Okay. Y'all early shout out. What up to my boy Ira out here as well, man? Appreciate you for checking in, though, man. We got some things to talk. Listen, boy, Ace Kennedy.
What up?
Did we? I don't remember. Did we talk about Tom Brady coming back, bro?
No, because it wasn't really news.
Well, listen, I'm wondering though. Let me ask you this. We're gonna ask you this real quick. We can talk. We got some things to talk about. But what's your take on Tom Brady coming back, though, bro? Is it like, bro, you don't know when to retire, or is it that I still got it?
It's part of the second thing. It is he still has it. The other thing is he wants to control his narrative. Like he had his retirement message stolen from him. So, for that fact, he deserves to be able to control his own narrative and not have somebody leak some news, and he just kind of has to accept it and do it. So no, he should have from the beginning, he should have just took time, thought about it, and realized what he wanted to do. But he's Tom Brady. What's going on, Sonia? And so that should have been his decision from the jump. So like I said, it was not news to me because it was like if the season hadn't officially started yet, he didn't take a year off. Like it's not news, So that's why I didn't have no desire to really like bring it up.
Hey man, listen, let's get this intro going. We got some things to talk about, man. It doesn't matter what your name is.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
If you smell what the rock.
Listen, man, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. We are live on both platforms at the same time. Shout out to my girl Sherry checking in as well. I see Sonia out here as well, though, man. I brought up the Tom Brady because we didn't talk about it very much, though, man. And I think that the control the narrative, I guess I can kind of see that, but I'm thinking like, it's Tom Brady, though, bro. Like, what else is it? What else is it that you need to control? Like, I can understand you want to retire on your own terms, right? I get that, but I thought that that's what he was doing.
Bro, listen, that's controlling the narrative is this. If you were retiring, that shouldn't be leaked from Rocky. You need to be the one to say that. You get to say when you retire. Rocky shouldn't come out and say, yo, Charlie about to retire.
Shout out to Rocky, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to Rocky the Real. And I got a story about that too. But all I'm saying is he should have been the one to come out to say that he was retiring. And again, he wasn't at a full 100 complete decision at that time. So my thing was, it's almost like when Marvel has a leak, right? Or Disney has a leak that such and such is happening. They step in front of it to control the narrative of, okay, yes, this is happening, but we wanted to. This is when we wanted to announce it. For instance, they were planning. They had a big deal that they was going to do for the Kenobi series, right? Everybody knew Kenobi was coming, but didn't know when. And then somebody leaked it, and then bam, here we go. Now we in full press mode. So all I'm saying is this: he wasn't necessarily 100% sure that he was retiring. He was going to take some time. So for him to come back and they haven't played a single down, not even a preseason game, then it's not really that big of news, man.
I can see that though, man. Listen, what about I've been dying laughing because I've been seeing a lot of people that was out there that was saying, yo, this boy was home for 2 months with the family and said, man, fuck them kids, bro. I said, no way, Tom Brady. But listen, bro, what is he like? This is my thing. What do you want, Dan? Like at this point, right? Like if you want to control your narrative, right? At some point, what do you want? Do you want it to be? Do you want it to be like that? You get a retirement parade, like when it was Kobe's last year. Every game was a ceremony. Like the ceremony is, it's going to be his last game against the Hawks. It's going to be his last. Like if that is that what you want as Tom Brady, though, bro?
Why not? Why not? I mean, my thing is, what if he wants to just go out on top? Like,
I get
what
that.
What if he feels like, look, we were a play away from going back to the Super Bowl, whatever, right?
Okay.
And it's like, look, I still think my squad got it. I still think I got it. And I still think I can play at a high level. Like he originally planned to retire at age 45. He'll
so
be
do you play until then? So here's what I'm asking though. Do you then, and not to say that there's anything wrong with it, but my question is that do you play until you can no longer take the punishment? Listen, or do you play until you say my team's no longer good?
No, Tom Brady. This is my take on it. Tom Brady he takes care of his body. So him being 44 or 43 or whatever, he still is like he's 33. He's got the body of 10 years younger. So he gets to play as long as he wants to play. It's not like Tom Brady is running from the pocket, or it's not like he's out there using his legs like that. He's throwing the ball. And as far as we see, he's still doing it at a high level. He just won a Super Bowl a year ago outside of from this year. So he's still that man gets to play as long as he wants to play. He's good for football.
Let me ask you
like LeBron still playing at his age.
I can see that. Let me ask you this. In other quarterback news, we didn't talk about this one as much, but I wanted to ask you something about it. Okay, so since we last got together, I think that we talked. It must have broke right when we first got on last Fridays. But Deshaun Watson cleared of all criminal charges from the rape and sexual assault allegations. And now that he's been cleared, right? Because I think that he must have said no. Let's go to court, because I think that he must have known I'm gonna be found clear of these things. Like he just no. Maybe there's some concern, right? But I think the thing that I am curious though, right here, I look at this. I got two questions for you. Okay, I'm one who says, "Hey, New Orleans Saints, they my team. Go and get them," right? But then here's my question for you: if you're as a fan, I know you got Justin Fields. Do you feel comfortable with your team going after him? One question for you. The other question that I have for you is that if these women accuse him of rape and sexual assault, right? And he's been found guilty of those, should he or should they be held liable for slandering this man's good name? Should there be some kind of consequences and repercussions for these women who said that this, because you think about it, he's never going to be able to get this stain off. The accusations alone are damning, right? So my thing is that, separately from the question about whether you think your team should pick him up, is that should there be some type of consequences there? Can he countersue them? Should they get charges pressed against them the way that they was bringing the smoke to him?
So he was found innocent of the criminal element. but he's
Yes.
still doing civil stuff. So that doesn't necessarily mean that he's innocent.
Nothing criminal. Nothing's gonna be that. Listen, let's just qualify. If you rape somebody, you go to jail. That's criminal.
I understand that, but
Okay.
but what I'm saying is this, right? We talked about this before, where it's like if you settle, does that mean that you're guilty, right? So I think at the end of the day, regardless of whether he's innocent, guilty, or whatever, he's guilty in the court of public opinion. People are already going to have their thoughts on him, no matter what we say, because this is what I mean. You're going to hear some people say, well, he had good lawyers or he has money, so that's why he got off. There's going to be a bunch of reasons that people could justify that, yo, he's really guilty, but whoop-de whoop-de whoop. Because from what I read, what I read was that he was going to plead the fifth. You know what I'm saying? So there's a whole bunch of different things of what, you know, they legally got out of it, basically. So now, so that's the first part. So the second half of that, if my team, if we still have Mitchell Trubisky or if we had Nick Foles, I 100% would get Deshaun Watson. Because the thing is that if he's out of the criminal element of it and he's allowed to play, then he's allowed to play. God rest his soul, Kobe went through something. Okay. And people felt the way they felt. And then all of a sudden he started winning and they turned on that girl quick. Now, as far as to your other question about, I'm all for if a woman or any accuser accuses you of something that is damning to your name and it's found that you are lying or something like that, then yes, you need punishment. Prime example, Chris Brown is going through something similar where a girl came out and tried to say this, that, and the other. Chris Brown had receipts. He had phone, he had text messages,
screenshots,
he had voicemails, he had all of this proving that this chick was just, you know, she was addicted. And so she just needed some pipe therapy. And so my thing is, so that girl should be held accountable. Her lawyer dropped her. And so
by the way, I can't just go without saying this, right? Win for Chris Brown on this, by the way. The fact that, listen, not just the fact that he has the receipts, right? But the comment that you could that even if he didn't told somebody about his game, right? I done told y'all about if Chris Brown said, listen, y'all need to know how I put it down here, right? He now got receipts where some chick is going on record, right? That done gone on record and said, bro, you the best I ever had. Some people might sing about it. Some people might say, I got resources, I got references, but he now has a receipt that once it's put out there on the internet is forever.
Yeah, and so Chris Brown is like, listen, I need these same outlets. Chris Brown said, I need these same outlets that was coming for me. I need y'all to have that same energy with these receipts. I need y'all to have that same energy.
Chris Brown, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. And I told you, you know how I like to put stuff on. You know how I like to put stuff on a list, right? I think Chris Brown, feel me what I'm saying with this. I think that Chris Brown may have top 5 receipts of all time, bro. Like, listen, tell me a time, right? Tell me a time where somebody has said you did this or you said this or whatever, right? And they said, you said that, they said the person now got receipts. And when you pull these kind of receipts, like, I think that it's not just the fact that Chris Brown has receipts, right? Like, he has good receipts. Like, you know, I told you before, like somebody will say, I forgot who it was, when somebody said something. And I was like, you know what though, bro? What you're saying might be true and everything like that. I just don't like your receipts, right? I don't like your proof. I personally love Chris Brown's receipts, bro. It's top 5.
Yeah, and my thing is this. So taking it all the way back to Deshaun Watson, my thing is if he's cleared of the criminal element, I have no problem with any team going after it. Because here's the thing. The whole cancel culture thing, you and I have talked about it. I'm sick of it, right? You ought to be allowed to make a mistake. So if that's the case, let that man rebuild his career, because obviously he knows what the stigma is about him or whatever. So he gonna have to move differently. But at the same time, he ought to be allowed to be able to rebuild his life, man, and get his money.
Hey, listen. So we're still canceling Russia though.
No.
We're not canceling Russia.
So this is I'm gonna just say this because I'm just gonna say my piece on it, right? Putin can kick rocks. Like that's
Are we giving him his taekwondo belt back then?
No. That's what I'm saying. Listen, Putin, y'all can cancel him, y'all can do whatever y'all want with him. But my thing is this, bro. What about the person that just lives in Russia, that's just doing their day-to-day job, that ain't got nothing to do with any politics or ain't going to war, ain't doing nothing, but now everything is getting stripped from them because of the dude that would be like if when 45 was in office, right? And he went over to a country and did some stuff, and then we have to deal with the repercussions of it. We ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm thinking like it's a little much to be just trying to just cancel Russia. But at the same time, I understand why people are doing it. As far as like countries is like, look, we got to shut them off until they stop doing X, Y. I get it. I understand.
I don't think that you can cancel Putin without canceling Russia, though. I think that's the thing.
No. I know that. That's what I'm saying. I understand why it's happening.
Now, oddly enough, I think that it's the actions. I think that people were able to, because of it being a democracy, I think that people were able to try to cancel Trump, even as like this is the thing about it. I think that you can really just freely say, I don't rock with Trump, or freely get out there and talk against whatever. And maybe Russia has people who do, but I think that the consequences, listen,
no. Absolutely. Listen. There was a chick that was on a news show, right? They had basically shut down to where the only news that's available is the global news for Russia, right?
Yeah.
There was somebody that went on there and had a sign that was like, like F this war, like this war is wrong, whoop de whoop.
Listen, man.
I don't know.
I think that it's different, man. Listen, and I think that
they don't have freedom of speech over there.
No, it is not a democracy over there, though, man. It says something to me that this man has been in charge for like 30-some years. You know what I'm saying? I think that that's crazy, though, bro. And listen, but I did want to know, though, man, like when it comes to Deshaun Watson, like I would imagine that at this point, if there are no criminal charges, right, then that means that it's a matter of perspective, right? Like I laughed because I saw that like the Pittsburgh Steelers were interested, and then they said, you know what, nah, he doesn't fit our brand. And we think like, bro, y'all had Ben Roethlisberger, right, and he had pretty much some of the same thing. Like, stop playing, bro.
Yeah.
And then I think that it's been all of these clubs, like every club in the NFL has some questionable player playing for them at some point or another, though. So stop it, though. Your boys got out there, your boy Brian Urlacher. Your Brian Urlacher got out there, man.
He wasn't playing for us, so
that was
So
I'm trying to think. I think every team has some sketchy history, though, bro. Listen, real quick, one thing I think that has been pretty interesting in light of the Tom Brady was that I had a good laugh because, listen, I have already said before, right, that I refuse now to get into back and forth with Cowboy fans. Mm-hmm. Even though I hate the Cowboys. I almost not that I hate the Cowboys, it's like I hate Cowboy fans, really, though, right? But dog, I saw something that just made me laugh so badly when I thought about it. So the first thing I saw.
Before you get into the story, though, I do have to ask a question. You said you hate Cowboy fans, right?
I kind of hate Cowboy fans, bro.
Okay. So do you hate Cowboy fans more than you hate New York?
Oh, Oh my gosh, bro. Listen. It's not, you know what it is, bro. It's not that I thought about. I don't even know if I hate New York. It's that I think I hate New Yorkers. That's probably what. And I feel terrible because listen, my cousin is a New Yorker, right? Let me put some context to it. I think, you know what? I don't think it's not I hate New Yorkers. I hate New York fans, and what makes it a good comparison is that I hate New York fans across all sports, right? Cowboys. So maybe that makes me hate the Cowboys more because I hate them as much as I hate New Yorkers for. I hate New York Ranger fans for hockey. I hate the Mets. I hate Yankees fans. I don't hate them. I don't hate the Nets for some reason, and I think it's because they're not original, right? They're New Jersey. That's still my associated with. So I don't hate Brooklyn like that though, man. I don't hate Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate Biggie. There's a couple of New Yorkers that I really rock with, but listen, I hate the Knicks though, bro. I mean, I love seeing the Knicks get whooped. But the Cowboys is right up there. But yeah. Here's the thing, though. Even as much as I might hate them, and even all the teams that I hate, I'm informed, right? I try to stay in the know so that I just don't have misguided hate. I hate somebody who hates, who doesn't understand another team's like personnel. I don't want to just be a hater for no reason, like without doing my research. So, like even with the Falcons, like I hate the Cowboys more than I hate the Falcons. But I still keep up with what moves everybody makes, right? I want to know who my competition is, all right? And so what's funny, though, bro, is I laugh because I saw that the Cowboys traded Amari Cooper, right? And what I thought was funny about that is that they traded Amari Cooper because I thought that they said that they told him that he doesn't fit their offense no more, right? Which is crazy because before he got there, Dak looked like he was straight. Never ate. Listen, Dak looked like Amari Cooper was his bootios. He got Omari, then he didn't look as booty no more, right? And then not just that, though, there's no way that Dak would have got that big contract without Amari Cooper. But when they traded him, I laughed because they paid him $20 million a year, right? This man only showed up for 8 games a year, and they gave up like a first-round pick to get him, all for them to have him come there, not get to a Super Bowl, barely get to a playoff game, lose in the first round, and then give him up for a 5th-round pick. I was just like, oh, it was so poetic justice. Such great. And then to top that, Ace Kennedy, to top that, they drafted Randy Gregory, right? And I'm watching TV, and I'm thinking like, oh, they re-signed Randy Gregory for the Cowboys. It made sense. Usually that's what happens. He re-signed, maybe give them like a little hometown discount. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. Didn't make me know, never mind, right? About an hour passed by, man. They said, breaking news. Randy Gregory then signed with the Denver Broncos. I said, wait a minute. He just signed on there. And they had a screenshot of the Cowboys Twitter page saying this, though, man. Apparently, this man had an issue with some of the language in the contract that's standard for Cowboy contracts, except for Dak. And the language is something like if for some reason, like they have the right to withhold your pay if you're suspended by the league or something like that, basically, though. Right. So I thought that it was funny that he says, hey, y'all can keep them contracts. They offered him the same exact contract minus that particular language. Right. Now, I thought that was funny, but here's what makes that interesting, though, Ace, is that I know the teams that I hate. So I know that Randy Gregory had been suspended a couple of times. Like first couple of years, he had been suspended for like weed. So, Stephen A. Smith always be talking about stay off the weed, right? So Randy Gregory couldn't get off the weed, right? He was suspended a couple times. So I think it's crazy that Jerry Jones in his contract basically saying, hey, you know what, if based on that normal Cowboy language, if you're suspended from the league from weed, some of those other things, we got the right to withhold your pay, right? And and not necessarily we, but whatever the league discretions are. So I thought that it was funny that he goes to Denver. Denver is the mile high. They were the first to legalize marijuana, right? So now this man leaves Texas, goes to a state where listen, I was in Oklahoma last year. I know how y'all boys got all the weed dispensaries on every block out there. Every state.
Churches and weed. That's what we got.
Listen, y'all got churches. Y'all have more churches and weed spots in Oklahoma City than y'all have fast foods. The same way how we have Waffle Houses on every corner out here, y'all have more weed dispensaries than Atlanta has Waffle Houses. Well, with that said, though, Ace Kid, this man goes out to the weed capital of the United States, basically, and said that, they ain't got these kind of clauses in the contracts out here. I thought that it was hilarious, bro. Said, man, shout out to Randy Gregory, who said, no, I'm not giving you the hometown discount. I'm giving this bag. 2 bags if I need to. Thought it was hilarious, man.
Dime bags.
That was long. That was long-winded. I just wanted people to know that when I do hate on teams that I don't like, fans that I don't like, that I'm well informed about what your team do. And who cares? I know you're going to say, why you worried about my team? Blah, 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 blah. Y'all do it too. So stop it. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Yo, Sonya brought it up, though. Jesse Smouye then got locked up for 5 months. And he wants everybody to know that he is not suicidal. What's your thoughts?
Listen, okay. I can understand that he's basically saying, I want y'all to know that if something happens to me, that I didn't kill myself. I totally understand that, right?
Yeah, and apparently he's in a psych ward in the hospital right now.
Right. So if he's in a psych ward right now, and I could understand if he's putting it, but listen, bro. If Ghislaine Maxwell said this, it would mean more to me, bro. Right? If she said
100%.
this, then it would, right? If she says, I'm telling y'all right now, I am not suicidal. Now, just mind you, Ghislaine Maxwell is the girl who was not Theo Epstein, but the Epstein Island's right hand, basically. She's the one who has all the receipts of all of the presidents who used to rock with this dude. She's the one who can say names, right? And so if she came out and says, no, I'm not suicidal, and something happens, then I think that's important to know, because now you got that president out there that she set the precedent by her saying, I'm not so, but Juicy, like, come on, Juicy, like, I don't want to say that his life isn't that important, but I just didn't think that it warranted that. Like, I thought that he tried to make it.
Let me ask you this: do you think he should have got what he got? Do you think he should have had jail time, or you think he should have got fined and community service, or what? Like, do you think it was excessive to give him time?
Okay, so let's run this back. Let's talk about what exactly what was he found guilty of?
He was found guilty of basically lying, like basically setting up the coup, like that something happened to him.
Then I don't have a problem with it. No, I don't have. I feel terrible, bro, in saying that. But I would have been fine with a fine, right? But I also, at 5 months, he can do. I could do the math. It's basically 4 months, good behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. And then listen, you said you got on stage before and said you the gay Tupac. So what are we talking about? Like, no, he's not. No, I'm not mad. I don't think that 5 months is excessive for you basically trying to paint this false narrative to draw some attention to you, whatever cause you were trying. I don't have a problem with that, but I equally don't have a problem if they would have just fined them as well, though, bro.
I don't think he should have got jail time. He ain't, he's not going to get any more roles. Like nobody wants to hire him. Nobody wants to work with him. The only person I think that's gonna resurrect his career now that he did go to jail is Tyler Perry.
Listen, 50 Cent he resurrected my dude Theo from the Cosby Show. Not Theo, but
I know
Elvin.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
one
possible,
of those two.
bro.
50 or Tyler
But
Perry.
wait a minute. Wait. I think about that. Okay. His career should not be over.
It shouldn't be.
Now let me think about it. Because think about this though, man. Robert Downey Jr. was found with crack. He was in jail for longer for drugs and came out, and now he's Iron Man, and nobody even remembers Robert Downey Jr. going to jail for crack.
He didn't that's him destroying himself, right? That's not trying to lie your way into some more money.
I get that, and I think that that's fair to say. I guess my thing is that when you say that somebody's passed, I do think that he can move on because hell, if Robert Downey Jr. like listen, and don't get me wrong, crack in the 80s was a different kind of crack, right? If you listen, I've watched enough Snowfall and I've lived in Shreveport in the 80s enough to know that crack in the 80s was real. So when Robert Downey Jr. went through that to come out of jail, right? And now people would never even know that this chapter of his life had existed so far behind him. Yeah, he can do it, but but
I'm just saying, are people gonna hire him? So that's what I'm saying. Like we can sit up here and say this all we want, but are people gonna hire him?
I think somebody will. Nobody. Listen, and I'm only gonna say that with the Robert Downey Jr. as in nobody says, "Oh man, we got a crackhead for Iron Man." Nobody even remembers that, bro.
Nah, but they sure did try to bring back up that Tropic Thunder though.
Listen, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, listen. I think that yes, I think that he can. I think that he'll be. Listen, I'm not gonna say that he'll be just fine. I think that he will be okay. Like he isn't gonna just bounce back, but I don't think that his career is over. I think that he'll have to re-earn it. He'll start from scratch, but I think that if he really does have talent, at the end of the day, it's nothing different from the NFL. If you have the talent, then your other behaviors and your past transgressions can be accepted, provided you have that level of talent, though, bro. So no, I don't think that. Now here's the one thing that I am kind of curious about, though, man. More than just that, I wonder, like, are black people gonna support this dude? Like, black people will forgive and that's all. Anytime there are any things in the history of black people, if black people are wronged, if black people are shamed, if black people, all in the history, black people have always prayed for the enemy. We've accepted. We just have always been forgiven, right? And the only people that we haven't completely forgiven all the way is R. Kelly. But even still, some people haven't just cut him off yet, right? So my thing is that if this man comes back to the black community and he apologizes, right? Isn't that what we do? Like, we are a forgiving people. So I thought that we would just bring him back.
I don't care what he do. He is always gonna be juicy, bro. It's over.
Even if that's the case, though, bro. I guess what I'm saying is that I don't think that he'll be because black people are too forgiving. Black people are too forgiving to keep this man on a blacklist for the listen. If you can still rock with R. Kelly, dog, you can accept that what that man
ain't brought Monique back yet.
Yeah, I don't know what. Listen. I forget almost what the depths of Monique's issues.
Trying to get us to stop watching Netflix, bro.
Yeah, but here's my thing. I think that,
and she talked about Oprah. She talked about Tyler Perry. She talked about Lee Danielson. So
that is her issue.
She hit all the big wigs.
Well, here's my thing about it. I think that what makes Monique's different is that Monique came at other black people to build herself up. And I think that that's where I think that then you start to lose. But if her issue was just with Netflix, right? And she kept on trying to do her thing, I don't think that Black America anyway would have just kind of shunned her. But not just Black America has the kind of love that I think that she deserves, because with all things considered, I mean, she did win an Oscar, and there are thousands of Black actresses who have not won it for any role. And so I don't think that she's as celebrated as I think that she should. But I think that where it's one thing that she was battling Netflix and equal pay and all this, I get all of that. But the minute that I think that she tried to bring down other Black people, Oprah, like, you can't listen. I'm gonna defend Oprah. I'm gonna defend Tyler Perry. I'm gonna defend Michael Jordan almost sometimes.
See, that's
Michelle
the thing,
Obama and Barack Obama. Those are 5 Black people that I'm always gonna defend.
Right. So Mark, 50 is one of the people. That's what we was talking about with Juicy, is that could be somebody could bring him back, is 50 or Tyler.
50 is a disruptor to me. I like that he is a disruptor to whatever the norms of the system would be.
Yeah. So we've been kind of following the whole Joe Budden saga. And it kind of came to a head this past week because the fake Slaughterhouse album finally dropped. And I was invested in this because obviously I listen to Joe. And of course I like Royce. So I wanted to at least hear what their gripe was. I will say the rollout and the pre-production was way better than the final product. It was a truly underwhelming project. Okay. And so I listened to Joe and Royce. He was on the podcast with Joe. And I like how he aired his grievances about the project, because he's like, listen, we all taking this L because y'all was like building this thing up. Obviously, people were invested. And then for y'all to have this type of product, like, I hope it was worth it. Like, you gonna really lose our friendship over these weak bars? Like that's where it's just kind of like, yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, I'm not surprised, and it's not that they're not good rappers. Here's the thing about it. I thought that I think that what made them all work was them all being together.
That's exactly right. And that's what Roy said. Roy said their quality control was off without those two.
Aside from that, right? If we're being completely honest, while Joe had the song, right, the most recognizable song, and while I think that Royce is more, I don't know if he's more recognizable of a name, and Crooked I has always been known as a rapper, as a rapper's rapper. All of them have been known as,
Crooked can go, bro.
Crooked can go. All of the people but I think none of them I thought had the most overwhelming career given their talent level, right?
Yeah.
But I think that them combining with all 4 did it. I think that when you remove and you only have 2, now you have 2 guys who careers didn't take off to the level of their talent warranted. So I just didn't think that would be enough for me to feel like, oh, this Slaughterhouse is going to be better than the last Slaughterhouse album. So for that reason, I'm going to be honest. I wasn't checking for it like that. The same way how I saw today that Mace put out a diss record dissing Diddy after damn 30 years. He's dissing Diddy still, and he has auto-tune all on his voice, sounding like his name is Lil Mace or Lil Betha. And I'm just like, bruh, what is this your game? Huh? So certain stuff I wasn't looking for, bruh. And I was disappointed in Mace the same way I was disappointed that they would come out with a Slaughterhouse album without the 4, bro.
Yeah, it was, like I said, completely underwhelming. I listened to the deluxe album too. Like, I wanted to make sure I got everything, and It wasn't. Like I said, the rollout was better. All the episodic stuff, them like doing all of the stuff behind the scenes, that was interesting. That was entertaining. The album, womp womp.
Listen, man, that boy Mace. That boy Mace, if you hear it, dog.
I don't even want to hear it, bro.
Oh my God. I listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I didn't hear it. Listen, I was a huge Mace fan, right? Yeah. I was a huge Mace. So just off of my old nostalgia feelings toward Mace as a favorite MC, favorite album, I say, yo, let me check out. Let me see what I also like is when somebody who I haven't heard rap in a long time, I like to hear if they still got it. They still just got the rapping ability.
Yeah.
And when I heard it, I was just like, nah, Mace. Nah, it hurt my heart, bro. It hurt my heart to see my dude just reaching out for that kind of attention like that, bro.
Yeah. So look, bro, you all caught up on Bel Air.
Yes.
What we doing? I mean, I looked. It has a 67% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't care about Rotten Tomatoes, bro.
I don't either. But I mean, at the same time, obviously, some people do. Like they use that as justification for how they feel. They have.
I'm gonna be mad, but I'm gonna be mad if they say if that's a justification for them to not bring back a season 2 of it.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on it on Bel Air?
Okay, so listen, I think that oh my God. So I think that what's crazy to me, right, is that I mentioned it before. I love the adaptation of the old. I like some of the differences. I'm not gonna say some of them. I like most of the differences that people don't like. Like I like how much
I like all of the differences.
I like how much darker it is. I like that. I like, for example, that Hillary and Jazz kind of have this thing. Not that she's always dissing them, right? And getting thrown out. I think that I do like that Carlton, right? Is the not the drug head, but that he's a darker character and everything like that. I like that. I like that, especially though, bro. I like my dude Jeffrey. Like he's probably one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, Jeffrey's my favorite person, bro.
So I like, and listen, I'm gonna be honest. On this last episode, I'm glad that they didn't make Aunt Viv cheat with Michael Ealy because I'm tired of Michael. Listen, bro, I'm tired of Michael Ealy getting all the girls, bro. I'm tired. Listen, I'm tired of Michael Ealy always getting the girls from a dark-skinned dude, bro. It's almost like Michael Ealy seems like when it comes to light-skinned black dudes, that after you beat every level of a game, he is the stage boss, the last of the light-skinned dudes that says, if you bring in your girl around all the light-skinned dudes and you manage to get past every level of light-skinned dudes, now the last final test is to get past the light-skinned dude with the good hair and the light eyes, though, bro. So I like that the boy Phil slid in, though, bro. It was just like, yeah, nah, I'm here. We on that time, though, bro.
Yeah.
So I love that. That was the last episode, but overall, like I said, I still enjoy it, though, bro. I like everything about it.
Yeah. Only thing I think I could have did without is the love scene. They didn't have to go there. I don't know. I just think that play was too early, but I mean, overall, I liked it. I love the differences. I love the differences in characters.
You know, one thing. Okay, so there's one thing I didn't think was necessary, right? One thing that I just didn't think was necessary.
What's that? The Ashley Banks?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured as much.
I didn't think it was necessary.
Yeah.
I didn't think that it was necessary.
It's like they covered all the bases with that one.
Yes. It's like,
but at the same time, I do respect the fact that every character has to deal with blackness in some sort of way, in their own way. And I get it. Agree. I don't know what they could have did for her, but at the same time, I do think it's a very relevant topic. So the fact
it is
relevancy.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
But it's like they was doing this. Somebody was cooking, said, "Oh, we got this recipe. We cooking." It's like it's missing let me just sprinkle just a little bit of gay in this real quick.
Yeah.
And I just thought that it's not that it wasn't relevant. It just seemed like unnecessarily forced. And it's
But
almost like we check this box.
True. But unfortunately, with the exposure that our kids have, that the identity of knowing what they are is something that kids struggle with because it's because
I like the story behind it.
Right. It's so normalized that is something that some kids are dealing with. They don't like they don't really know if they are bisexual or heterosexual or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing that I got. So thinking about that in our generation, right? Do you remember anybody in a show where it was Will and Grace is the only one that comes to mind? But do you remember any shows where characters were our age, where you almost questioned their sexuality, or they were just flat out gay on the show?
I mean, no, but I mean, shoot, you can go all the way back to the Smurfs. Vanity Smurf was flaming.
No, yeah, Vanity. You gonna get us canceled, bro? You can't say that man was flaming, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. What are we doing? What are we doing? I forgot all about that, bro. I forgot all about that, though, man.
That fool was carrying around that mirror, bro. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. I thought that he was just into himself, though. But there were no shows like, that I can think of, bro, where you know what? There was a show. What was this movie? The closest thing I can think of is that what was this? It was a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, I think, when he was like, damn, I might be mixing up the characters, bro. But there was this movie where there was this kid, they were in high school, freshman, and this dude was gay, and Leonardo DiCaprio was, and somehow he got real cool with the dude or whatever. And the little dude kissed him on his cheek, and I forgot what movie it was, but Leonardo DiCaprio was like, "Yo, nah, wait a minute." It was a movie where what was it? I think that Robert De Niro was his dad in the movie and everything. That's the only thing movie I think I could think. Oh, and then Nerds, not Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah, Revenge of the Nerds. Matter of fact. When the boy Preston, who was with the popping and locking, boom, boom, boom.
And what about that Will Smith movie?
The first one, Meet Joe Black, I think.
I don't know what it's called, but
yeah, but that's my thing. I think that that was like a movie, right? And so that movies are like generally said, they're one-time shows, but to have a full series, like I don't remember a time when we were growing up, man, that you just have that depiction of somebody being gay, bisexual, or questioning their sexuality that's put in front of you and displayed so that you see it over and over. And again, like I said,
did you have an issue? Did you have an issue with in like Tommy?
What part of
his brother?
No, but listen.
You think that was forced in?
But there's another where I didn't think it was necessary, right? Because if I'm following this right, this dude with the dreads on Tommy is homeboy's is his son, right? So he's had, he's been with women. So that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. I wouldn't put. Here's what I'm saying. I wouldn't have thought any less or more of it if he wasn't. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Well, I see. So we brought this up a while back. Like we was talking about Rugrats, right? And now in the new version, I guess the mama of the twins is or whatever like that. And I was just like if you would have just added a new character and that was the trait, okay. But the fact that you changing, I don't know.
There's a flip side of it though. I'm not gonna lie. So what's crazy about it is that so while Tommy's brother is gay on that show, the Flynn daughter is also gay. And oddly enough,
and that one didn't.
To me, I'm gonna be honest. It made her look sexier to me that she was with another
the
bad
difference
chick.
is, though, if to me it fit the narrative because both kids are doing something that the dad would disapprove of. True. So it fit the story, but it felt like when Tommy and him was talking, he just like
slipped it in real quick.
Yeah, just like and my boyfriend left. It was something. It was just like, wait, what? Like,
Yeah, like
I
I
just
was
met
like,
you. Like,
no,
yeah,
y'all
yeah, yeah.
gotta don't force it like that though, man.
I
Like
don't
it
know.
is, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of corny though, man. But listen, hey, so last time, the last time we was talking, and my girl MCJ, well,
I
her
about to
Kim,
say we better check to see if she's
listen,
in.
I gotta check because her Kim radar just popped on when we brought up Kim Kardashian because we were talking about Kim and Kanye. And here's the thing I think that's crazy though, right? I do think that it is interesting that when it comes to Kanye and Kim, that especially now, right? You never see them. You always like they depict Kanye like he's crazy, right? I think one of the things that is interesting is that you never really see them like talk about, oh, he's a great dad, these pictures and everything like that. I think that's one thing, right? They talk about narratives, right? Controlling a narrative. But then here's the other part too. Controlling the narrative. This boy Pete has been playing it back, right? He's been falling all the way back. And listen, I don't know how he's just now being able to say something about this because if it's me, I'm already clapping back. But maybe, you know what I'm saying? He's with Kim and he's just like, Kim's like, yeah, just let him do his thing, whatever, whatever. But ultimately, this boy Pete comes back with the ultimate clapback. Texas boy Kanye, which listen again, how do you got my number, right? And we were talking about that earlier. If you were just friends with her, how do you have my number? If you say you got it from whatever from her,
Yeah.
that's one thing, right? But listen, that's one thing. But he basically is talking about this that and says, "Hey man, I'm with your baby mama. This is my girl. I'm in her bed right now." And he sends the picture. I say, "Yo man, this boy Pete." It was the kind of clapback that I was expecting. So Ace Kennedy, after seeing that, is it time for Ye to just say, "Stop it, bro. Collect your
Listen,
losses," or
no,
do you
listen.
advise him to keep fighting?
Charlemagne always says that you have no control over how people respond. Kanye been killing him off in videos. Kanye's been beating him up in videos. Kanye's been calling this man out of his name. Kanye's been posting and doing everything, knowing he's got all of these followers and influence over people. He's been doing everything. So now Pete decides to respond back, and Kanye's trying to play the victim. Nah, sorry, bro, you don't get to play that. Like, you do not get to control. If it's like if somebody came in 7-Eleven, right, and slapped you, but then you punch them, there's nothing that person can do.
I'm going
You
straight for the T.
That's what I'm saying.
Remember
You
homeboy with the
Yeah,
had the T? I'm
right.
going straight for the T.
See, that white dude did not expect to get hit in the face with a tea can. But again, he underestimated what the blowback was going to be for him saying what he said. So
If I'm Pete, right, my response would have been even more. What I would have done if I was Pete, I would have sent him a picture of me in the bed, but that wouldn't have been enough. I would have had the picture of me laying on her cakes, my head on the back of the cakes, and said, "Yo, I'm in the bed." That would have been my picture. Like I'm saying, like that way, you know, I ain't just in some hotel. You know what
right.
these cakes look like.
Kim is also smart about the fact that she's not trying to do anything right now that he can then bring up in court. Because all he can say is, well, Pete ain't got nothing to do with the case.
Yeah, but you saying you also are out here saying you killing Pete. So now you questioning your mentality, all this other stuff. But I'm saying that Pete, if I'm Pete, listen, the clapback was a strong clapback, right? And I think that the big thing is that, bro, like if I look at it like this, at this point, if it's not Pete, it was gonna be somebody else, right? I think that if anything, though, I think that Pete's clapback was appropriate. And now the thing about it is Pete said, "Hey, we can meet up and we can talk about this one-on-one," right? Because like this is the thing that gets me that drives me the craziest, right? So when it comes to beefs and hip hop in particular, I mentioned to you before, and we talked about this on the last episode. The reason why you don't see fair one-on-one fights in hip hop is because nobody wants to be caught on camera catching that fade and getting laid out, right? So Pete tells Kanye in this text, if you want to see about it, we can set it up. You know where I stay. I know where you stay. We ain't got to talk about it, whatever. And I don't know what Kanye's response was. I don't remember, but it was like he bowed out of that whole thing, though. But then I also saw, Ace, that Jake Paul said, hey, man, we'll offer y'all $30 million to go ahead and get this for our next celebrity fight, right? We'll go ahead and offer y'all this on the ticket, $30 million, right? Now, listen, they said that the boy Pete's net worth is looking real ASAP Rocky-ish, right? I think he's not he ain't no billionaire, right? But 30 million, if you Pete, if you think, oh, I go ahead and watch Kanye, why not sign up and go ahead and say run that fade?
Because Kanye ain't gonna ever sign up for that. That is
right.
not
So can't you say if you Pete, hey man, I signed up for it. Run it then. We can run it. Like what? Because if that way you say, oh, you gonna kill me in your videos. You talking about what you can get somebody else to do. I want to know what you can do. What? Show me. So if he's saying, so if you Pete, you can say, I already signed up. I'm waiting for Kanye to sign up. He already dressed like the Big Show.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get it popping.
At the same time, though, bro, Kanye playing the victim now. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's done. Once Kim dropped the last name, it was officially over, bro.
Listen, man. I don't think that so this is my thing about it. I don't know if it's that Kanye doesn't realize that it's over or if Kanye just doesn't want to feel like he lost.
That's all it is, bro. You talking to a man who can have anything except for what he really wants. So that's the part that's devastating to him, is that I have the money to buy or get or to be in a meeting with anyone in this world, but the thing that I want the most right now, I can't have. That's what's hurting his ego. So, he's been writing all these poems and stuff like that and doing all this stuff on social media, but at the end of the day, he can't have what he wants. It's done. If Kim was the priority, he would have did more earlier. He did it on the way out. Like, he still thought he had that much swag that he could pull in and savor at the last minute.
Okay, so maybe I don't get that deep. Maybe we need to have the Kim Kardashian correspondents come on to say what exactly is it that Kanye was not doing that Kim wanted him to do, that she said what was enough.
Like, she basically said it, bro, when he was like, when all of the stuff was coming out right around before the Donda album, the other album.
Didn't think about it this way. Listen, bro.
His ego bruised, bro. His ego is bruised.
If I'm Pete saying your ego bruised, you want these bones to be bruised also, bro. Like if I'm him, like if you know that this man's never, like there's never gonna be a time ever where Kanye is going to run up on him. They ain't gonna never, so then you might as well, it's all WWE at that point. Listen, I'm shooting straight promos. I'm going straight Razor Ramon on my promos, man. Look at Chico.
Hey, yo.
I'm speaking it in his face.
Speaking of WWE, bro, I was gonna actually bring that up. So you and I grew up WWE. We grew up watching wrestling. We grew up playing WCW versus NWO on Nintendo 64.
Right.
Like, that was a big part of our childhood. I mean, I'm wearing All Elite Wrestling right now because we was just in it. Growing up, one of the biggest things to ever happen in wrestling was for people to jump ship. So there was a thing called the Monday Night Wars. So you had WWF, which is now WWE. So WWE going up against WCW. And you had two people that contract expired, and they went over to WCW, changed the culture, changed wrestling forever. Scott Hall and Kevin Nash went over to WCW. One of our iconic scenes is Kevin Nash throwing Rey Mysterio into the trailer head first, like a dart. And then, of course, bringing Hollywood Hogan over there, which started the NWO. So one of the founding members of the NWO, Scott Hall, recently just passed away at the age of 63 from having 3 heart attacks during the surgery. So the wrestling world is kind of stunned, you know what I'm saying? But he was definitely an iconic figure, as you called him, Razor Ramon or Scott Hall. So yeah, that kind of some big news that kind of dropped in the wrestling world.
Hey man, they need to protect Ric Flair at all costs, bro. He is outliving everybody. And I think that it's crazy. Like, listen, man, I don't know how. I don't know who was on Ric Flair's side though, bro. But this man is outliving everybody. But
Right.
I think that the part that the thing that I just remember the most. So let me ask you this: Do you remember? Do you associate Scott Hall more or Razor Ramon
Scott
more?
Hall for me.
Scott Hall for me too.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I mean, because it, you know, again, we are teenagers at this point, and it felt like it was. We already we started to already feel like, okay, wrestling is fake, right? So when this stuff was happening, it was like, okay, wrestling is real again. We just don't know who's gonna come up where. It was like the Wolf Pack,
It was one of the times. It was one of the times to me that wrestling. You know how you talk about you got like now, right? Like you're the king of going behind the scenes or going off script. The smart fan. That to me was the first, the evolution of saying no. Now you know that people are out of contract. Now you know what I'm saying? Like who else could be joining? Like when people started jumping ship, I think that you started to get more insider information about wrestling.
Right.
And then it became, as a fan, you became a more informed fan about the wrestling business.
Yeah, when Eric Bischoff showed the finish to Monday Night Raw on his show, or when DX went and tried to they drove up to WCW with the tank, like all of that stuff, like you had to watch, bro. Like it was an event. It was like you said, like, oh, they showing like what, this is pre-recorded. I didn't know this was pre-recorded. Like that was a big like eye-opening stuff.
Yeah.
And then Hulk Hogan left WWE. Are you kidding me?
So
He's
this
a
is the
heel?
thing. When he came back, listen, bro, when Hulk Hogan came back with the black and white instead of that red and yellow, it was my mouth was literally,
And he had that dark and light
and
beard.
he had the dark and light beard, and it was like, to me, it took my eyes like weeks to get used to it. But then when I did, it seemed so natural though, bro. Like I think about that. The real American hero turns into Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And then not just that though. I mean, he's Razor Ramon. So Scott Hall was a whole Cuban guy, who dark tan and everything like that. And I thought that he was great as Razor Ramon. I do think that he went next level when they went NWO though, bro. So
Hey,
yeah, I used to love. I don't know why. I used to love when they would beat somebody and they would spray NWO on their stomach. When they would spray paint them, bro, that was my joint though, bro. So yeah, man. No, I thought that I used to think that, you would always wonder who was gonna join NWO next. So when they had Sting and then they had the fake Sting, right?
Yeah.
It was just like, bro. Then they had Virgil there. They had Dennis Rodman, who again,
The Worm.
he lived a full life, but golly, you think about that though, man. Razor Ramon did it. Who was all wrestling when it was Dennis Rodman wrestling against Karl Malone?
Karl Malone.
And who else was in the ring with him? Was Razor Ramon in there too?
I think Hogan was. I man, it's been so long, but Mike Tyson at one point.
Mike Tyson was, but yeah, man. Listen, bro. Like I do remember him as Razor Ramon, but he was most memorable to me as just Scott Hall though, bro, and NWO, because I thought that, I don't know, man. I could see it both ways, because I remember having that the Razor Ramon action figure, but I don't know which one was more iconic, Scott Hall or Razor Ramon.
For me, like I said, I mean, I know Razor Ramon had that epic match. That
That was
ladder
my
match
joint
with
when he's
But
that was
yeah,
like my favorite thing, boy.
yeah, but for me, it's definitely Scott Hall with the toothpick, bro.
Yeah, I just remember when he would throw it in somebody's face.
Yeah.
And then what was funny about it is when he threw it in their face, they literally made it seem like they sold it so well that they almost made it seem like they was about to die from being blinded, bro. Like it was so good though. But I definitely think that the Monday Night Wars were probably the best thing that ever happened to wrestling, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Shout out to Kevin Nash who was dealing with it, and then
He is still
Xbox,
still
Xbox is dealing with it too.
Yeah, man, that was a homie. So I do wonder, you know what I'm saying, what do people like Triple H, who you think about that though, man? Trip was homies with him. So it's like Trip had some health scares, not that long ago himself though, man. And so I'm just like, yo, it definitely tells you that, a lot of these wrestlers, man, they falling off, man. And it's
the good thing about Scott Hall though, because it's classically documented that he had substance abuse issues in the past. Diamond Dallas Page helped him recover, bro. Like he was sober, he was doing his things. He just had complications in surgery, bro. So he had some blood clots, and that's just ultimately what ended it for him. But he definitely was in a better place, and he had gotten in the Hall of Fame at WWE. So yeah, he did his thing.
Yeah, man. Like sad to see that one though, man. And so I have been enjoying seeing all the people who have put their surprisingly to me, I saw that West Side Gun from Griselda. He was saying that he was named after Scott Hall, basically. And he got a tattoo amongst it within his he had a sleeve or something like that's going, and he has a tattoo of Razor Ramon throwing with the toothpick in his mouth though, man. So yeah, it's dope, man. I was like, yeah, that's real. That was real though, man. But yeah, it's sad to see that one though, man. But listen, protect Ric Flair, bro. He is listen, man. Not that he all we got, but he is probably the oldest living legend at this point that's still active though, man.
Yeah.
Sting also, bro. Like,
yeah, but Sting doing his thing. Sting just jumped off a balcony on to two tables.
And Sting was as old as Scott Hall was when Scott Hall passed. Yeah. So,
like I said, he just jumped off the top of a balcony on tables stacked up.
Yeah, 60-something years old. That's just like I couldn't imagine seeing my daddy jump. I couldn't imagine my daddy jumping off nothing, but let alone jumping between some tables, though, bro. Nah.
Right. Yeah.
Nah. Yeah, man. Hey, so what's good with you for the week, though, man?
It's spring break, so I'm probably taking the missus out this evening, and then other than that, man, just got a bunch of other little things going on. So yeah, it's a busy week.
Yeah,
what about
I think that I am. We don't got spring break until a whole nother month. Matter of fact, we got the first week of April where spring break. So, I mean, I think only thing I got going on for the week here, man, is I'm trying to do better at just taking off random days, just to be taken off. I think last year, man, I wound up I was trying to take off for more stuff and didn't, and wound up carrying over like some PTO time and everything. And luckily I didn't just, lose it. But this time around, though, man, now I'm trying to get ahead. So I'm just taking off on this Friday, man. May have to go get a little massage or something like that, though, man. And just kick it though, bro. But and then I'm back in the lab, you know what I'm saying? So that's been real dope. And I think that I'm finally mapping out the plans for some new videos, some more visuals that I'm looking to shoot, though, man. Oh, other things I meant to tell you too, though, man. My dude who does the dope visuals out here, my dude Trendy Visuals. He moved back to Snellville though, bro. I saw him at the park hooping the other day. I was like, bro, we got to go ahead and do something though, man. So it was real cool to link back up with that to get the Friday. He's shooting that red dragon now, though, boy. I said, yo. So yeah, man. But yeah, doing some things though this week though, bro.
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah, man.
All right.
On that note, can we get the music?